Hey fellow pilgrims and future wanderers, my name is Richard Ellerington, aka the Ginger Vicar, a pastor who's managed to escape the church building. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be exploring what the top 4 Camino routes are for 2024, and you are not going to believe what comes in at number 1. Let's hit the trail together. That almost worked. Coming in at number 4 on our 4 Camino routes for 2024 is the Camino Frances. Yes, indeed, the Camino Frances, truly amazing walk that starts in Saint Jean-Pierre-de-Port and heads up the Pyrenees and straight into Spain. It is the OG, the granddaddy, the original, but it's not really the original Camino that people love. It's the most favorite one. It's the one where you're walking the footsteps of thousands, if not millions of people have walked before you and are quite possibly walking with you right now. Yes, indeed, it's busy, it's wonderful, it's the Camino Frances. Walking the Camino Frances is like a spiritual conga line. Now, what about pilgrim support on the Camino Frances? I hear you cry. Well, I got good news for you. Because the Frances is one of the most popular pilgrimages out there, it is incredibly supported. Everywhere you go, there are people with little bars and little tables, donativos, giving away food and drink, and I tell you, you couldn't be any more supported. Not only that, but the atmosphere is incredible. It's like you've got your own cheerleading squad everywhere you go, from the albergues to the local people to your fellow pilgrims. They're all going to be going, woohoo, you're on the Camino, this is amazing, let's have a great time together. You're going to love it. The cost of the Camino Frances. Well, it's going to be good news for your wallet. It's as friendly to your bank account as the people that you're walking with. But remember, if you've got no cash, as indeed I've got no cash here, you want to have some cash. The credit cards are not just enough, it's a cash economy out there. Drum roll please. Coming in at number 3 is the Camino Portuguese. The Portuguese Camino, known to some out there in the world of pilgrimage. Why, you ask? Well, besides the fact that you'll be walking through incredible vineyards, beautiful coastal scenes, on the boardwalks, not only that, but you get 2 countries for one. You get Portugal and you get Spain. And the combination of those 2 is phenomenal. The wine, oh man, and the pastries, oh my life, you're gonna love every single second. Pilgrim fuel, yes, the breakfast of champions. Now, the good thing about the Camino Portuguese is that even though it's only made number 3 on our list, it is probably the most second popular Camino for people to walk. And that means at a pilgrim support level, there are people everywhere helping you with everything. There's coffee bars, there's albergues everywhere you turn, there's restaurants that are amazing, and of course there's all those little donativo food plates all over the place. So when it comes to pilgrim support, you know that you're onto a winner. Now, there are 2 options for where you can begin the Portuguese. You can begin down in Lisbon. It's a long walk from there, and I've heard, having not walked it myself, that is really tough and it's kind of like inland a little bit on really bad kind of rocky ground the entire way up. Lots of people choose to begin at Porto, because if you start at Porto, it's going to take you between 10, 11 to 12 days to get to Santiago. Wow, that's good value for money. To complete a whole Camino in just 12 to 13 days, what a win. So begin in Porto, I recommend, and head your way on to Santiago. Coming in at number 2 on the 4 Camino routes to hike in 2024 is the Camino del Norte. Yes, the best. Well, number 2, not quite the best. Why, you might ask? Well, the Camino del Norte truly is a treat for all those that love the ocean. You are hugging the coastal route and then climbing up the mountains, and my life, there are some serious mountains on this hike. It's tough, it's hard, it's beautiful, and it is filled with wondrous, wondrous food. I mean, San Sebastian, one of the best places in the world to eat. It's just incredible. The pinchos, the seafood, the steaks. It is a culinary fiesta from day 1 all the way to the end. Honestly, at a food level, I gotta say, this is probably the very best out of them all. Now, I recommend that if you like seafood, this is the thing you should be doing, and maybe bring a fishing rod, because you're gonna have time, especially if you do it in maybe May or June, because it's light for so long, to catch your own supper. Now, what an adventure that would be on a Camino, eh? So pilgrim support on the Camino del Norte? Well, gotta be honest, it's not as good as the Francés or the Portuguese. There are many days actually on that pilgrimage where there's big stretches where there's nothing for you, there's no food, there's no restaurant, and you've got to have it all packed in your pack. However, as you hug the coastline, you're going to be going from little fishing village to little fishing village, and they're filled with tourists. So there are some good restaurants and some good places to stay. The bed race is something that's real because there aren't as many albergues, so you need to pick carefully where you're going to stay and think about the time of year that you want to do the Camino del Norte. So although there's less support, one of the great things about the Camino del Norte is that there's less people. For those of you who are looking for a more solitude journey, this is a great Camino for you. Now, the cost of the Camino del Norte is a little bit different to the Francés. I would say it's a little bit more expensive, probably equal with the Portuguese. The reason it's a little bit more expensive is that as you head into those tourist towns, the price has got the tourist tax on it. It's just a little bit higher because there's people coming from all over the world. But I'm telling you, those pinchos are worth every single penny. You'll find the best food that you could possibly find anywhere on any Camino on the Camino del Norte. So just before we hit our #1 spot, maybe you've got some ideas of what will be on your top 4 list. Why don't you drop them down in the list below? Because there's so many Caminos out there, some of which not everybody will know about. So share your top 4 as well. But as for now, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at #1 on our 4 Camino routes for 2024. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. It is the big cheese, the creme de la creme, the numero uno Primitivo. So why has the Primitivo made it to our #1 spot on this incredible list for 2024? Well, it's simple. Out of all the Caminos that I've walked, this is truly the most beautiful, the most spectacular, and it brings the Camino experience down to the core elements, which are these: walking in incredible nature, not knowing where you're going to stay at the end of the day, and being able to find a bed. I can't sleep. Finding great people to walk with and a sense of community, and also wonderful food. The Primitivo kicks it at every single level. And do you know what's great about the Primitivo? Is truly, it is the #1. It is the original. It's truly the OG. It's not the Francés. It's this one. So in 12 days, starting from Oviedo, ending of course in Santiago, this is my #1 choice. Best Camino I've ever done, and I can't wait to do it again. So there it is. There's our top 4 Camino routes for 2024. Now maybe you've got some other suggestions. Why don't you drop them down in the comments below? And remember, subscribe and like and hit the notification bells so when this next piece of invaluable Camino information comes out, you won't miss out. See you on the trail.